Hey, what's up, y'all? It's the Human Trafficking Committee. I know we on here kind of late. But I'm just waiting for my car. Hey, Miss Lisa.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. You?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on with y'all this evening.
No problem. I'm just waiting for my car. And we'll be ready. Which one her Instagram? Oh, I see it.
Hey y'all.
Hey, what's up, Kaya?
Hey,
Did you
Makaya.
hey Bray, did you get the thing I sent you?
Yeah, I got it.
I'm gonna send this video out too.
Yeah, I got it. Well, you want me to send a live out or we can start?
Yeah, y'all can get started. I'm gonna send it out though. So if I don't hear you for a second, give me a
All
second.
right, say my little introduction. All right, I'm Perion. I'm a youth ambassador. I'm the head of the human trafficking committee. Yeah. Hopefully y'all remember the stuff we talked about last time, cause we coming back with more. Cause last time I did tell y'all we was gonna get into more. And how about you, Makai? You can introduce yourself.
I'm okay. I'm a part of Let's Stop Baltimore, and I'm a part of the Human Trafficking Committee. And
Mm-hmm.
same thing Trey said. Hope y'all remember what we talked about last time because we're adding to it today.
Yeah. So today we talking about safely dating on social media. I got a short clip for y'all to see. Yeah. So y'all can see. Turn it up.
Legend or lie, the history
Is it
of
on
Southern Arizona. Murder, betrayal, gold, the tales of the lost judgment mind. These were real people. The real story behind the most famous 30 seconds in Wild West history.
the car?
Hi, Jakar.
And was a mountain struck by a meteor? There have been a lot of
I don't know why this
theories
ad.
from Arizona. Legend or lie? In town, KGUN 9 or the KGUN 9 app on these devices.
Human trafficking, not an easy subject to talk about, but an important one. The Southern Arizona Anti-Trafficking Unified Response Network, or known as SATURN, wants to change that.
A lot of parents just don't really understand or know what it is, and also aren't aware that this is going on in our community as well as communities across the nation.
Sheila Campbell, an undercover Tucson police detective, held a social media 101 class, showing how online profiles can play a role in sex trafficking. They say kids and teens can be easily duped when they talk to people they don't know online.
They think they know them, but you can be anybody you want to be on social media, and so I think that really escalates then their risk to become a victim of some sort.
The International Labor Organization estimates there are nearly 21 million human trafficking victims around the world. Campbell says the best thing you can do for yourself and your kids is to be aware.
As with anything, the more you raise awareness and the more people understand what it is and what the signs are and what to watch for, see more of it.
Flags include lying about online activities and calls or texts from strangers. For resources, head to kga9.com. Natalie Tarangeli, KGA9 on your side.
Yeah, that was it, guys. I just sent the live.
I don't know what happened. Lisa gone.
Hold up, she requesting that. All right, there you go. There you go, everybody. What's up, y'all? What's up? So, as y'all know it's more than one human trafficking. Y'all know I think it's three of them. Yeah, three.
3 ways that
But
human trafficking.
Yeah, basically the video was saying make sure um y'all might know who the person is online, but like the lady said in the video, the person anybody can be anybody online. You could be whoever you want online because it's online.
But
And you can make up all these fake accounts. So we just wanted to make sure y'all was safe. What you think about that, Makaya?
what I think about human trafficking.
Yeah.
I said what I think about the video or what I think about human trafficking.
The video. The video. We're gonna do the
Oh,
video first.
the video, but it was still sad because people taught who they can talk to because people sex trafficking and stuff like that. Yeah, it video.
Yeah, you breaking up.
You can't hear me.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna leave and come back.
Alright. Well, so basically we wanted to tell y'all that we don't really want y'all dating online, but if y'all choose to, y'all can, but we just want to show y'all the right way and how like the way that you should. Because yeah, what y'all think about the video in the chat?
Can you hear me now, Perry?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh,
Go ahead, finish talking, Perry, what you were
I'm
saying. No, that's true. What you saying?
Oh, yeah, we wanted to tell y'all the safe way and the right way if y'all do choose to talk to somebody online, because we know that's how it is nowadays. We wanted to give y'all some tips and tricks on how to do it and not so y'all wouldn't be in that predicament of getting catfished or human trafficked.
Yeah.
how's over? How
Yeah,
could
Because we know
yeah.
y'all
So
going to date online. We not trying to tell y'all, look, we don't want y'all to
yeah,
say, hold up. We not dating. We going to date online. So we understand that that's how young people meet their spouses these days. And we understand us just completely trying to say, don't date online. You guys are going to be like, hold up. This is the way we date. And that's the norm for y'all. But if you're
right.
going to do it like Perion just said, we just want to make sure that you guys are doing it safely, and I'm on here with them this evening because they will be interviewing me and asking me some questions if you guys stay tuned in, because I was actually a victim of human trafficking as a teenager. So Perion and Micaiah will be asking me some questions this evening after they go through their questions.
Yeah. So tip number one, um, always talk to a trusted adult. Always. If you're gonna talk to somebody online, make sure you let your parent know or somebody that you trust. But make sure like they not childish enough. Like make sure they understand or they know what can happen. You always want to talk to an adult.
right?
And make
Yeah.
sure you tip number two, make sure you research the person before you date them, right?
Mhm.
Because even if they had their page for 3, 4, 5 years, doesn't mean that they're not a trafficker. A trafficker could have a ring of people that they work with, and they could have actually started making pages in 2005, and they could have just
Right.
made 100 pages, and each page they could constantly post on so that they could seem like they're a real person. And the whole time they could still be a trafficker. So just make sure you do your research on the person. Make sure that they are who they say they are. Make sure you ask people about the person to make sure that they also are who they say they are.
Mhm. That's right. You wanted to give tip number three, Markai?
Um,
I know we got a bunch of tips. What you can do.
still going like even if you know the person, make sure that like
Up
it
there.
may not do something the first time y'all go out together. Like y'all may meet up one time, and they might be like normal about it. And this just because they want to maybe get close to you and want you to trust them. So even if you go out with them one time, still tell somebody that you're going with them the next time and times after that, because you never know. They might just, like I said, they might have just not did nothing the first time because they wanted you to trust them, and the second time they
Mhm.
can act. So you
Yeah.
I agree.
going.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
agree. Mm,
Yeah, I
I
agree.
agree too. Yeah,
Mm.
because that's true. They can have you going out with them a few times, and they could just be like, y'all having a nice time, and the next thing you know, you pouring out to them. My mother make me sick. I'm sick of my mother, my father, or whatever.
Yeah, and that's the next thing. When Miss Lisa talked about, I was just going to say vulnerability. Make
No,
sure you're not vulnerable. Make sure you don't post on nothing on social media that's not supposed to be on there talking about I want to kill myself or I want to run away. Do
Yeah,
not post that because that's being vulnerable.
yes, indeed. And they definitely target who?
youth,
Vul-
runaway.
yeah, young people, vulnerable people.
Yeah. And what's the main ones in the chat? Let's see if y'all can give us some of the people that they target.
Yeah, put it in the chat before we tell y'all.
Yeah, let's see. If y'all can remember some of the vulnerable populations that they target that Perion and them been teaching y'all about the last few months.
Yeah, let's do this.
LGBTQ. I'm gonna give y'all one.
Up, one.
LGBTQ.
Mm-hmm. Little kids. Yeah, yeah, true. Yeah, yeah. Young
Yeah.
girls. Yup.
Mhm. So that's one, two. That's three. Miss Lisa gave one.
Runaways.
Runaways. Yup.
Sorry, that's four, not three, boy.
Yeah, but
People
Miss
living
Lisa
in
said one. Miss
Yeah, I
Lisa
had
said
said
one.
one.
Yeah, that's
People
why.
living in
Yeah.
foster care and group homes.
Mhm.
All of them are targets for I can't see the chat if anybody's typing for some reason. I can't see it.
Yeah. They said little kids, young girls, people who already won a way out,
Yeah.
and yeah.
And
Just,
people who are posting vulnerability on social media.
yep. Facts.
There are no white vans, guys, not in Baltimore, that's snatching people human trafficking. That's not going on right here.
Yeah. The only thing here is probably I-95 down. Y'all. Yeah.
Hotels,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hotels. Yeah. I was just about to say that before my phone
Parties
came.
casinos,
Mhm.
by the
and
party,
of
like
course, the number one way is Instagram and
That's
all
yeah.
social
Social
sites,
media. Social
social
media.
media.
Yeah, and then that's another fact that we had. We are the number 15 in the country that traffickers that happen here. I mean, like
Wow,
with trafficking, number 15
wow,
in the whole country.
that's sad.
Yeah, people who already want to. Yeah, sure. You wanted to say anything, Markaya, before we start asking, interviewing Miss Lisa?
yeah. Um, people like they may even like I've heard about it before, but it's never like happened to me or anybody I know. Like people will like use people that you know to get through to you. Like if you post something on Instagram, maybe your page is private. They ask your friend, where was such and such at this day, and maybe your friend will tell them or something, and that'll be like a way for them to find you and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so don't be dropping people locations without letting them know.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yep.
Yeah, don't let people pick your mouth. Basically, what she's saying is don't let people pick your mouth about your friends. Maybe
Right.
y'all met some boys or something, and if one of them are trying to pick your mouth about your friend, be careful of that too.
Mm.
They real smart. What is it? The second lucrative business in the world, illegal business in the world. It's human trafficking. So everybody is trying to do it because everybody's trying to get a bag.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
That's
They're
why it's popular.
right. Yeah. Uh, they also if you see anyone that look like they scared or something or
Mhm.
anything,
Mm-hmm.
like you don't gotta hesitate the call the human trafficking number or Miss Lisa.
You know what?
Yes. And I just dropped the human trafficking hotline in the chat. Make
And let
sure
me
y'all
pin
store
it.
that in your number and your phone. I'm going to also drop my cell phone number in the chat. We also have resources if you know anyone who has been a victim of human trafficking or has been in a domestic violence relationship. If they need an Uber to get away, we'll send them a free Uber. If they need a cell phone because their trafficker is watching their phone, we'll give them a free cell phone. You can reach out to Perion, Micaiah, or myself, or
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney, and we'll set you guys up to get you away from your traffickers. We'll send a lift ride there, and to get you away and get you somewhere safe. So
Yeah, sure. Go ahead,
yeah,
you good.
no,
Yeah.
go ahead. No,
All right, so I got a couple questions before we move on to Miss Lisa. I just came up with these questions, but I want to check the interact with these. The first one is what type of human trafficking can be found in the United States? Miss Lisa did name some of them, but hey, some of these that I just looked up that I didn't even know, so that's a good thing.
yeah, no. Do you guys
Yeah,
know in the chat? Y'all want to earn some cash at? Come on, let's
yeah,
give us some of these answers. I can't see what they saying, but I know you can see it.
yeah.
They
I'll
ain't
read the
say
question again. It say what types of human trafficking could be found in the United States?
First person
Well,
to give us two different ones get a cash at.
yeah. Hey, there's a lot on here that I didn't even know.
Yeah, I just looked up some too, and I see them.
Yeah, yeah. Sex trafficking one. Yep, yep. Sex trafficking one. Yep.
Yeah, there's a couple that you can name. What the hell's all racing?
Yep.
Y'all know any more, or y'all can't think?
Modern day slavery. Yep. Modern day slavery definitely on here too, Miss Lisa.
Right.
Uh huh. I'm about to say body parts.
What was the question again, Perry?
The
What
selling
type
the
of human?
body parts are really not human trafficking. That's kind of kidnapping. Because
Yeah.
yeah, that's kidnapping and murder, and basically because human trafficking is basically you're still alive and you're being forced or coerced to do something. So selling body parts is like something different, and that hasn't happened in Baltimore. Just to let you guys know. So
Right.
by us being close to 95, there's been people who sold people that's from different states, and because 95 goes from Florida or all the way up to Canada or whatever, people have to ride through, so they may have gotten pulled over here in Baltimore just traveling up 95 coming from another state, but no one has never ever sold body parts or stole someone for body parts in Baltimore City.
Right.
We put the question in the chat.
Yeah. I mean, we can all. I mean, we going live again next Sunday, so I can see it, and then whoever can remember it next time, then yeah, we could do cash apps. I say 'em. But sex trafficking was right. Modern day slavery was right. Forced labor. Uh, it's a child commercial sex trade and involuntary domestic servitude. I don't even know what that is, but yeah, that's what it said.
So did y'all want to tell them a little bit about being under 18 years old and how
Okay, you
that's
want
a
to do that?
federal and state crime?
Say it again. I didn't hear you. I got you on my phone.
About the being under 18 years old, if anyone tries to provide services to a child under 18 for trade
Yeah,
or
like some
commercial.
like people will like not take them, but basically use people for money. Like they'll make you basically sell yourself really to like if you're underage, they'll make you sell your body to a person who is older, and every time you do something, they'll give you money.
That's
Right.
also human trafficking. A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
don't know that. Some of you might call them cougars or sugar daddies or sugar mamas, but the whole time that's a federal and state offense, and whoever's paying you will go to prison, and they will do time. So
Right.
it'll be a federal offense and a state offense. They'll be charged by both governments. If they just say someone buying you hair or buying you tennis shoes for sex, that's still human trafficking, and you could be still at home. That don't mean that they kidnapped you, but it's just that they're having you do sex acts for coercing you to do sex acts for different things. So they paying you money or giving you, they could be giving you thousands of dollars. Whatever
Right.
they giving you, it's still called human trafficking. So
Basically,
just be like, yeah.
for basically using you because they know you want it, so they know they can do it.
Yep, they know you're
Mm-hmm.
vulnerable. You may need the money for school. You may need the money, you want to buy a car or whatever. Yeah, and boys are being trafficked too. It's not just girls. So we
Right.
just want people to know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. You might get this older woman, and she might say, "Oh, yeah, you can drive my car." She gonna buy you shoes. She gonna buy you sweatsuits, jewelry, and she wants you to have sex with her. She
Right.
can go to jail. She will go to jail, federally charged and state charged for coercing you, because you don't have the right to choose when you're under 18. You cannot legally sign a contract, and you cannot, under the age of 18, cannot make a deal with somebody to do that. Now, if
Right.
you're over 18 and you sell your body, it's just called prostitution,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if
Yeah,
you're,
that's a fact.
yeah, it's just called prostitution. You prostituting yourself. But if you are under 18, it's human trafficking.
Right.
So just remember that. And if somebody forced you to do something over 18, that's still human trafficking. But if you agree to it over 18, it's prostituting. If you agree to it under 18, it's still human trafficking. So we don't want, we just try to make sure people are clear on what human trafficking is. And there are resources for you if you find yourself in that situation where someone is persuading you to sell your body to them for anything. There
Yeah.
are resources for you.
Yeah. Y'all know. I think I'm not sure, but y'all know pimps are a form of human trafficking too.
Say it one more
Yeah.
time.
Pimps.
Oh,
Yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of pimps be human trafficking girls. They be having girls down there selling their body that's under 18, and they are human trafficking them. Or sometimes they have prostitutes where they won't let them go home. That's still human trafficking them because they're forcing them to do it. They might just be calling themselves a pimp, but they'll beat you, they'll kill you, they'll cut you up. They
Right.
might make the money good when you first start doing it. You might be like, "Dag, I'm dancing at this club. I don't have to do nothing. I don't have to have sex. I'm just dancing and I'm getting bands every night." Next
right.
thing you know, they're going to make you sign up with a pimp, because you're not going to just keep making money in the club and
Right.
there's pimps around and they feel like they not getting a cut. They going to be like, "Oh, you can ready to be mine." And if you don't listen, they'll beat you, they'll kill you, they'll threaten your family.
Right.
Right. So, Miss Lisa, do you mind telling us about your story a little bit, or how you feel?
Yeah. So, when I was a young girl, I used to get into trouble a lot. And I used to like run away from home, or I would get kicked out. Back then, it was like you ship up or you shape up or you ship out, right? And so my stepdad, who was a monster, he used to force my mother to make me get out because I would stay out late and hang out and do all of this stuff. So, in the midst of one of my either runaways or getting put out, I wind up with an older man who would buy me clothes, buy me shoes, buy me all this nice stuff. He even bought me a car. I didn't even have a license. Like, he bought me a car and everything. And I was like, "Oh, wow, he got that money." So, I'm thinking like, it was cool. I didn't know right from wrong. I didn't know that
Mhm.
what I was doing was wrong, right? And I blamed myself for years. But anyway, he was a drug dealer. He sold drugs, and it was like a bunch of them that used to be together. And I wanted to leave. And then they would not allow me to leave. My family was threatened. I was staying like a few blocks away from where my mom and them was at. And they were threatened. My mother and my little sister, they were threatened to do something to them if I left. So it was like they were trafficking me back and forward out of state and things like that from Baltimore to, I don't want to say the name of the state online, but they would traffic me back and forward to the state. I had to bring drugs back. I had to do whatever they wanted me to do. And it started off as it was, I agreed to it, and even though I agreed to it, I was still being trafficked because I was a child, and I was vulnerable. I was a runaway. So like when they say you're vulnerable and you're a runaway, it's true, because I was targeted because of that. And giving me these nice clothes and helping me, making sure I ate and I had somewhere to sleep and things like that, it made me feel like I could trust them. But in all actuality, I couldn't, because when I wanted to leave, I couldn't leave. I even had to jump out of a third story window to prevent myself from being shot. When I finally tried to leave, and I was actually dating another older person, it was crazy because they came after me, and I had to jump out of a third story window um, to prevent myself from being shot. And I witnessed a lot of things, and a lot of things happened to me at a very young age. And that's why it's important for me to make sure that I provide you guys with this information so that you guys can be aware that even though I was going with them and I got to hang out and I was shopping and did all of this nice stuff and I felt like I could trust them, that even after all of that, that I was still forced to stay, and I wanted to leave and I couldn't leave. So, yeah, I was able to get out, but everybody don't make
Yeah,
it out. Everybody
yeah,
don't make it back home.
right.
And
Um,
yeah,
yeah. I got a couple questions for you too, but I'm gonna read some of the comments. They was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you."
Oh,
thank
well, thank you
you,
for telling your story also.
Yeah, they were just saying, "I'm sorry that happened."
thank you, thanks, guys. I'm sorry I can't even see the comments. I wish I could. But you can screenshot them for me too.
Uh,
And thanks, guys. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for coming over here and telling your story.
You're welcome.
yeah, I wish I wrote it down, but how did you overcome that situation? Because like it probably been giving you anxiety and stuff and depressed.
It did. It did. For years, I was afraid that I would like kind of run back into my traffickers. Like when my mom finally got away from my stepdad and stuff like that, and she did actually move out of the area, it helped a lot with my anxiety because I wouldn't go back home to my mother house until after she actually moved from that area because I was afraid to put them in danger when I ran away from my traffickers and stuff like that. A lot of my traffickers wound up going to jail. So that kind of put ease at me, and they were kind of like sent back to where they were from. And it kind of put a lot of ease with me, and it made me feel more secure, because when I was young, I was still afraid that, that they would still come after me or whatever. But they were big time drug dealers and kind of like went to prison for that. They didn't go for what they done to me, but they were gone. So it kind of gave me a sense of relief for that portion of it. And then I was blaming myself for years. So I really didn't talk about it a
Mm-hmm.
lot. I know I just would tell my mother and my sister just like watch their back, and they were like, huh? So I was just like, just be careful, like don't open a door, and stuff like that. So it was just like scary because they was living like a couple blocks away from where my traffickers were at, and it was just like,
Right.
what the world? So I was more afraid for them than I was worrying about me being in that situation. And I blamed myself because I felt like I put myself in that situation, but it's not true. and there's a lot of people out here being trafficked that blame themselves because you like,
Right.
I put myself in that situation, but I'm a child. I can't,
Exactly.
yeah, I can't put myself in that situation. I cannot be the one to say that, I agree to be in this relationship with you as a child and you're an adult. You're 28 years old, and here I am 16, but I had already been through a lot as a child. I had been molested, you know, um, you know, several times, and I actually had a hysterectomy where, if you guys don't know what that means, is where you can't biologically have a child. So I had been through that, and then because my son, he's my son, but I had got custody of him when he was 1 year old. So he's not like my biological child because I cannot have children biologically. So I think that's another reason why I'm so passionate about young people, to actually wanting to help young people and be in their lives and be a part of their lives, because biologically I can never have a child because of what happened to me as a child. And it hurts, it hurts, and I still go through the pain. I still cry, but I've grown to strengthen myself. I've learned to strengthen myself. I've learned to overcome it. I've learned to overcome my fears and to appreciate the life that God has given me. And through prayer and just strength and being in a circle with people who really genuinely care, and just mentoring me and just teaching me how to overcome and stop blaming. Once I kind of stopped blaming myself for it and
Hmm.
started speaking out about it, that is what helped me overcome it the most.
Yeah,
Yeah. I didn't even know all of that. Honestly, I knew that it had happened to you before, but I didn't know like the details.
yeah, and
So I'm just like surprised.
because we know that's a lot of information, and it's sometimes it's hard to talk about. It make me want to cry. Yeah, but that's just crazy. That's,
Thank
but I ain't gonna lie, you a strong woman,
Yeah, you're a strong person. A lot of people wouldn't be
strong
able to do
person.
what you do
Cause
now.
somebody else would have been folded,
Yeah.
thank you.
folded
Thank
like a
you.
bread. You got that. Big
Oh,
Lisa, Big Lisa. Next time, be like Big Lisa. You got
yeah, Big Lisa. Yes, Big
that.
Lisa.
You need a
That's
shirt
right.
that say that Big Lisa with your face on the back.
Uh-huh. I like that. Yes, Big Lisa. Yeah. And
Yeah,
and I don't want it to happen to nobody because I know how scary it is. I know how long it cold you carry it on. And like Perry was saying the other day, it hit home because he was like, it's hard for people who's been trafficked to trust. And when he said that, it like hit home for me because it's so true. Like, it's hard to trust after you've felt like you've been used and abused. It felt like you don't know, is this person trying to do the same thing to me, or so, making sure you have a therapist to talk to, afterwards is very important. I see a therapist. I still see a therapist to this day. But we really don't talk about that a lot no more because I have got through it, and but it is hard to talk about, and it's embarrassing. Like, you feel like you're embarrassed, but I want to say this to anybody who's been trafficked: don't be ashamed because you're not the one to blame. It's the person who did that to you who should be ashamed. So
Right.
never be ashamed of what you've been through. And I know it's easy to say but hard to go through, but trust me, I've been through it where I was ashamed and I blamed myself, and I will never blame myself again. And I say that proudly, and I stand up with my head up to my traffickers that you are the ones to blame. They are the ones to blame for what they done to me. I was a child.
Right. Exactly.
thank you too. Thank you for your story. Hopefully,
Welcome.
people take that story in. I know we really be wanting y'all to listen when we giving this information and tips and stuff because it's helpful. And just listen to her story for it.
Thank you. Yes. Please, guys, just always let somebody know who you're with, when you're going with them. Do your research on them. That's where I messed up at. Nobody knew who I was with or where I was going. I just would sneak off and sneak out the house, climb out the window. I did it all. to go and be with someone who wound up not letting me go.
Yeah. Thank y'all for joining. We've been on here for almost 40 minutes.
Thank y'all. Yeah, we appreciate y'all for joining. Thank y'all for tuning in and participating. And thank y'all for hearing my story. And I want to thank Perion and Markaya for bringing awareness to other young people, so that they won't become victims of human trafficking.
Yeah, we're not doing this to scare y'all or anything. We doing it so it can so we can possibly
Awareness. Just
Yes,
awareness. just
yes, just
awareness.
for
Nothing else
awareness.
but awareness.
Yes,
And be
just
to
awareness.
yeah.
Yeah. Peace and
Mm-hmm.
blessings. Y'all enjoy your night.
you too.
All right,
All
y'all.
right. Good night.